Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. and I make videos all about making and selling candles. And today's video is going to be all about the samples that I include in my orders. It was last week that I posted a reel to my Instagram, and ever since then I've gotten some more questions about what I include, how I make my stickers, how I make my little sample wax melts that I include in my orders, and the supplies that I use. So I'm just gonna go over all of that in today's video, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So right over here, I'll go ahead and just play the reel that I put on my Instagram, but I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like up close. And this is basically what I include in all of my orders. So it's this little cotton bag with a little drawstring so you can close it inward. And then on the inside, I include a little sample of a wax melt scent. So whatever scent obviously they're not already getting in their order, I will include that in there. And then I also have two little die cut stickers. So I've made these both myself and I print them out at home using my Silhouette Cameo machine, and I will go into more detail about that towards the end of the video. But I just wanted to show you guys up close what they look like. So this one says Candle Lover, and then this one is actually a little digital artwork that I did of my candles. So let me show you guys if you're not familiar. So for those of you who are not familiar, these are what my candles look like. They have the wooden lid and they are the matte black jars. And so I decided that it would be just really cute to have little stickers and have my brand name on it. And I have gone back and forth on whether or not I wanted to actually have the name of the scent and have it be, I had somebody make a comment in one of my previous videos that I showed these, and somebody said it would be really cute to have each scent, and then it would be kind of like everybody's trying to collect them and purchasing all the scents so that they could get the specific sticker. I know that's gonna be a lot of work. I might just in one day kind of do like a bulk print of everything and just make sure that I have tons of each scent. But as of right now, I just have the ones with my brand name on it. So I actually get most of these supplies from Uline, and this one right here is called, I believe it's called Part Bags on the Uline website. I will leave everything in the description box below. I can't remember off the top of my head the size of this, but again, it will be linked directly in the description box. It has the two strings on the side to have the little drawstring effect, and it fits perfectly with everything that I need to fit in here. I was originally getting these from Amazon, but I realized that I can get them cheaper and in higher quantities directly from Uline. And then in terms of the little paper that holds the wax melt sample, I was first using these white paper bags that I got from Michael's, but I think I posted the link a little bit too many times and now I can't find it on the website anymore, and I can't find it in store either. So I knew that I had to find a different alternative, and I'm really glad I did because I found these cute little wax paper bags and they are so perfect for what I need them for. And wax paper is also really good because it helps for it to not stick too much to it. And originally, again, I was getting these on Amazon, but now I get them in bulk from Uline. So I will have those linked in the description box below as well. And then in terms of the molds that I use in order to create my wax melt samples, I went through a couple different things. First thing that I was using to create my wax melt samples was that I was just breaking apart my typical clamshell molds that I use. But with the new way that I'm doing everything, the amount of wax that I use, it's just way too thick. And I wanted it to be a little bit slimmer because it's just a little sample that you're giving someone. So I went through a couple different molds, silicone molds, but then I decided to just go with the molds that I use for the wax melt bestseller sample packs that I sell, and this worked out perfectly. So initially what I would do is just kind of pour a little bit here and there and fill up each cavity with whatever scent. And if you guys know me, you know that I am very disorganized most of the time. So I would just put in different scents into each different cavity. So if I was making both Malibu Coffee Shop, Pacific Coast Highway, Trips to Nowhere, sometimes I would fill up one of these with multiple different scents, and then I just have to go in and rely on my own nose to tell me which scent it was. But now I realize it's much better for me to actually have its own little pack. So now I label it exactly what scent it is, so that when I go and package these up for these sample packs, I know exactly what scent it is. So I'm very happy with myself that I did that. I'm trying my best to think of future Erica and what's going to make it easier for me and do a lot more prep work and try to organize more. This to me has helped me immensely, and it also helps Chris too, because he helps me go through and create a lot of these little sample packs inside here. And what we also decided to do, this was more of his idea because he is sometimes a lot smarter than I am, but we pre-make all of these, and when it comes time to actually package up orders, what I do is I actually look through the see-through area on here. I don't know if it's gonna show up on camera, it kinda does, but it'll tell me what scent it is so that I don't have to open these up and try to decide, try to look and see what scent it is. It's just looking through real fast. If that's not a scent that's in the current order, then I can go ahead and use that as a sample pack for the order. But this is something that I just started doing and I'm so happy about, and I really wanted to share it with you guys because I really hope that it can help some of you guys out that make a lot of samples and include them in your orders. And if you guys are as disorganized as I am and the samples are kind of everywhere, this helps you just kind of keep them in one place. They're very organized, and whenever you need to create or wrap up a sample to add into an order, you know exactly what scent it is, and you don't have to rely on your senses to tell you which scent it is, because sometimes I feel like my nose lies to me, so it's better to just label it ahead of time. Oh, and one last thing about the wax melt samples is I go through online and I just kind of print these out so that they're ready to go. Again, just to make the process a little bit easier. I have a little category over by where I keep all of my labels, and it just says sample stickers. So I know where to find everything. So whichever pack I need to use with it, I know to grab those stickers, and it just makes everything so much faster. All right, so moving right along into how I create my stickers. So what I do with these is I actually design this using Procreate. So what I'm gonna do in the next clip is I'm just going to walk you guys through briefly how I created everything. I won't be recreating it because it's just gonna take so much time, but I will give you guys the gist of how I create everything, how I export it onto my computer, open it up in Silhouette Studio, and actually go through and cut it out using my Silhouette Cameo. Now I have the original Cameo 1, whatever you want to call it, the first one that came out, the first Silhouette Studio. So this might not be the most updated version of everything, but it's what I have and it still works for me right now. So we're just gonna go ahead and get into that video and I will show you guys how I make them. So the way that I design my little candle stickers was through my iPad. So I love my iPad so much. I have the little Apple Pencil and I use the program called Procreate. So this is an old image of my candle that I took a while ago, but I used it as a reference to basically trace and outline and color in over it to create a digital artwork piece. So what I did was I did a color picker and I picked out different spots on the wood lid right here and I put them right over here so that they would be readily available for me for when I needed to go in and try to recreate the look of that wooden lid. So essentially what I did was I added different layers. I went through first and I basically just did an overall outline of the black jar, and then I went through and that's how I did the wood lid. So you can kind of see a difference between what the real wood lid looks like and then what it looked like when I did my little drawing over it. There was a couple different effects that I could do to do almost like a blur between all of the colors. I played around with the opacity of everything just to try to make it look like it blended together really well. But that was kind of how I created that effect to everything. Again, this is not really a tutorial, just kind of showing you guys what it looks like in Procreate and just the different layers and how I put it all together. But this is basically what it looks like after everything was done. It's pretty simple. This was actually a pretty simple thing to do. The hardest part was going in and trying to trace everything and get the outlines as straight as possible and not have anything too wonky. And then what I did was I went in and I imported my logo and I added that right into it. And that is how I got the sticker. So from there, what I can do is I can actually go here and I can export it as a PNG. So a PNG is going to keep it as looking like this. It's not gonna have any background behind it. It's not gonna have a white background. I want to export it just like this. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually airdrop it onto my laptop. Finished airdropping onto my computer, so I'm just going to take it and save it to the desktop to make it easier to find, and I'm going to open up Silhouette Studio. So this is where I do all of the designing the layout and making sure that the Silhouette Cameo machine knows exactly where to cut on the sticker. So now we're just going to go ahead and open up that sticker that we saved onto the desktop, and it looks like this. So it doesn't have any kind of white background to it. It's completely transparent. So I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller because I never like to make my stickers that big. It's just going to be too much. I like to make it about that big. It's about 1.947 inches. And before I forget, I'm going to go over here and turn on the registration marks. So this is where we turn on the registration marks. And that's just basically telling the Silhouette Cameo where to cut. And I have had people tell me before that I can actually make these registration marks a little bit larger, but I don't necessarily know how to do that. So I'm just going to leave it as it's defaulted right now. So in order to let the Silhouette machine know exactly where to cut, we have to create essentially these little red cut marks to it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to this button right here. So it's the trace panel. And I'm going to click on select trace area. So we are going to tell it that we want to trace over this. And it's already selected to solid fill, and I'm going to take this threshold and drag it all the way up to 100%. So if you see right there, the less you do, the less it's going to actually register the image and the shape of the image, and the more you bring it up, the more it registers all of it. So I'm going to click on trace outer edge. So if I zoom in onto this image, you'll be able to see this little red line. And what this little red line is it's actually just a trace. So as that trace panel was stating, it's the area in which the machine will know where to cut. So if I move this over, you'll be able to see it a little bit better. So it went ahead and it actually traced that entire outline of the image. However, because I want it to be a die cut sticker, I want it to actually have a larger white area on the outside of this image. So in order to do that, I have to click on this little panel right here. And I have to click on this little red line and click offset. So now it took that image and it basically expanded it to be this larger area so that now when it cuts out on the actual sticker, it's going to have that white outline around it. However, don't forget to delete this inner little red line because otherwise it's going to cut both of those lines. So we have to delete that so that this outer line is the only red cut line. Okay, so now that we've done that, basically I'm just looking to fill up this whole page with as many of these little stickers as I can. So I'm going to highlight all of this and I'm going to press Command G. And that's just going to group everything together so that you are not accidentally moving the image and not the outline and getting everything messed up. So you want to group it all together. And then I'm also going to hit Command C and then come over here and click and press Command V. And that is going to paste it down. Now, if you're on a PC, then it's going to be Control C and Control V, but I'm on a Mac, so it is the Command button. So I'm just going to go over here and basically go through and add everything on here. So the easiest way to do this would be to copy this, paste it, just so you're duplicating it, and then the same thing just to make it a little bit faster. Copy, paste. All right, so now this page is all filled up with the stickers, and when I watched a tutorial, somebody said to make sure to group these all together before you print it. I don't know how accurate that is, but that's just a habit I got into. So now I'm going to take my sticker paper. It is just white glossy sticker paper from Online Labels, and I am going to print this out and then show you guys how I work on the settings and how I actually go about cutting this out on the Silhouette. And then to do that, it's just File, Print, and then choose your printer like normal. And then this is what it looks like after it's all printed out. So you can see that the registration marks are printed out. And again, this is just to tell the silhouette machine where exactly it needs to cut and how it knows where to cut where we made those red lines. And this is also really important to state that the silhouette is not a printer. It's just to cut everything. As far as I know, it's not a printer. So you do need to get that sticker paper and be able to print it out on a printer before you actually go through and cut everything. So you will need a printer. I don't believe that the Silhouette Cameo can double as both. I believe that it's just specifically for cutting. All right, so once we have everything printed out on our sticker paper, we are ready to put it into the Silhouette Cameo. So we're gonna go up here to send. And this is just letting the printer know exactly what we need from it. So right now I actually have my blade set to a 5. I've gone back and forth on how to actually set this, but as of right now, the 5 and leaving the force at a 20 and a speed of 4 works for me. Again, guys, this is really hard to explain. You can look up other videos online on how to actually choose this. It was basically just a little bit of trial and error for me, and also realizing that I had to physically change the blade, and it wasn't just changing this. I actually had to go in and adjust the blade itself on the actual device. So that's something to take note for you guys as well. So right here at the bottom, you can tell that it's ready to go. So what I'm going to show you guys right now is actually how to attach it onto here. So this is a little sheet right here. It's a little sticky sheet. It has grid marks on it. And this is what we are going to attach our sticker paper onto. So what I do is right here, I align it up as best as I can. So I can show you guys up close once I get this on here. But basically what I do is I just try to align it as best as I can at the corners. So I get that corner set, and then I try to make it as straight as possible before I push it down. And this took me so much time to get the hang of. Now I've got it down, but in the very beginning it took me so much time. And then now what we're going to do is actually load it into the Silhouette machine. And then on this little screen right here, once you get everything lined up, I'm just going to click on Load Cut Matte, and then it pulls it in and it's ready to go. All right, and then all we do is we're going to hit send and then watch it cut. And then from there, I'm just gonna press unload. It's gonna take it out. And then this is my favorite part. So you just pull it. Oh, that fell off because it was already coming off, but you just pull that off. And then it just becomes a cute little die cut sticker, just like that. And then I'm gonna go through and just pull all of these off this little sticky sheet. But that is going to do it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing how I make my little sample goodies that I include in all of my orders. If you guys like today's video, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at MemoryBoxCandleCo. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.